Hey everyone, let me take you on a journey today that's as heart-wrenching as it is unjust. This is the story of Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a Maryland father who's now fighting for his life in El Salvador due to an administrative error. Kilmar's story is one of resilience and hope. He fled gang violence in El Salvador and entered the US in 2011. He worked hard, built a life, and even started a family. His wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, and their children are US citizens. Kilmar was living the American dream, working as a sheet metal apprentice with a spotless criminal record. But all that came crashing down in March 2025. Despite having a withholding of removal order granted in 2019, which should have protected him from deportation, Kilmar was detained on March 12 and deported just 3 days later. ICE later admitted the deportation was a mistake, an administrative error. But this error has thrown Kilmar into a living nightmare. Kilmar is currently detained in El Salvador's CICOT, a notorious terrorism confinement center. His wife, Jennifer, is terrified for his safety and insists he's not a criminal. She identified him in a photo of CICOT inmates. Imagine the anguish, the fear, knowing your loved one is in such a dangerous place. Kilmar's lawyer, Simon Sandoval Moshenberg, is fighting tirelessly to bring him back. He argues that the court can order Kilmar's return, citing past cases where the US government has rectified such errors. But in this case, the efforts seem lacking. The Department of Justice contends that federal courts don't have jurisdiction since Kilmar is now in El Salvadoran custody. But Kilmar's lawyer remains hopeful, pointing out that the government usually goes to great lengths to correct wrongful deportations. It's essential to understand what withholding of removal means. This protection prevents deportation to a country where the individual is likely to face persecution. It can only be terminated after reopening the case with an immigration judge. But Kilmar's case was never reopened. So, why was Kilmar deported? ICE previously alleged that Kilmar had gang ties based on a confidential informant and his attire at the time of arrest. However, an immigration judge granted him protection in 2019, which ICE didn't appeal. Yet, Kilmar was deported on a flight with 238 Venezuelans and 23 Salvadorans, all described by officials as gang members. This story is a stark reminder of the flaws in our immigration system and the human cost of administrative errors. Kilmar's family is pleading for his return, and they need our support. Let's amplify their voices and demand justice for Kilmar. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please share it. Let's stand together for Kilmar and all those wrongfully deported. Stay informed, stay compassionate. See you next time.